All right, hello and welcome back to My Mom's Basement. It is Robbie Fox, and I am back with the Maine. Over a year since I've interviewed you guys the last time. You guys now have a new album out. I think it's fantastic. Right before you recorded this, I said, when do you know it's time to record? Like, is it the Force? The Force was with you on this album.
Your Mom's Basement was beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it looks a little bit like a green screen studio. How are you guys? How's the tour been?
It's been great. It's been, it feels like it's been forever because we had a little break during Thanksgiving where we went home. And then now we're kicked back off. And I think this is the first of 6 in a row for us right now. So.
6 nights in a row?
6 nights, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. How do you, like, maintain your voice through that? Is it tough?
That's why I'm eating a cough drop right now. So.
Damn, is this interview maybe hindering that?
No. I'm on day 4 of steroids, anabolic. So.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good. How do you guys like playing New York City in general?
Over the years, it's definitely become, you know, when we first started, it was very intense, very like nerve-wracking.
Well, we didn't know what we were doing, though. Yeah. We were just like rolling into the city, like no clue how to conduct ourselves. So it's definitely gotten a lot better for us, too.
Yeah, fortunately, it's kind of like home shows. It's like once you realize that it's going to be a little hectic, you just kind of like settle in and have a lot of fun. So we're really, really pumped.
And 2 nights at Irving Plaza. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Excited.
Pumped, yeah. We haven't been there for a while, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's been 10 years. So
they redid the bathrooms.
Really?
Yeah.
Remember the bathrooms?
They were nice.
I think they redid it maybe after Hurricane Sandy or something.
Damn.
Which is longer than 10 years ago, so I don't know.
It's been a while.
Like I said, though, this new album is awesome. Like, I always have a special place in my heart for Lovely Little Lonely, but this, I feel like, could be your best work.
That means a lot. Thank
you.
What was the first piece or demo from this that made you guys excited?
I guess technically the first song would have been Blame.
Yeah.
That was written.
Yeah. But it went through
we didn't have a place for it per se.
Yeah.
Like it was just in its form at the beginning. It just kind of like felt.
It was a completely different song.
It's been like 5 different songs.
There's like a different version of it that we have fully recorded that.
In what direction does the different version
It felt
go?
maybe more in lines with like Sticky from EXO.
Okay.
And it just felt like too vanilla. But that was the first song that then after we started writing and we kind of recrafted that tune, it just all started kind of falling into place.
And in our last interview, you guys were talking about how like genre blending was something you were really excited about and pushing forward. I feel like this album does that a lot. Was that on your mind as you were writing this?
I don't know. I think we were just like really cutthroat about what we wanted to include and what we didn't. We were very like hard on ourselves as far as songs that were resonating. Like if somebody back here or, you know, Colby Wedgeworth who produced was like on the fence about something, we didn't really give it too much thought. We didn't chase it too far. Maybe to a detriment, but that I guess means we have some more in the discard pile that we can go back to. But yeah, I think we've done so many things as a band as far as, you know, sonically. I think it just like dance songs, there's heavier, I guess, guitar leading songs. I don't know. We just didn't really have a governor. The governor was just really like, do we like it or not?
Mm-hmm. And I think a big focus on this, maybe compared to XOXO, was like we wanted the consistency to kind of come from like the drums are the same in pretty much every song, like the drum tones and stuff. Where on XOXO's like mix of electronic drums and actual drums and whatever. Where like this we like really wanted kind of the baseline of everything to just be like the 5 of us, we could perform it in a room, like without too much extra.
Most guitar tones were consistent, and that was like where it was very hodgepodge on EXO. It was like everything was catered towards the song, and this was just like a blanket kind of.
I feel like we had so many more conversations about the sound before we had about actual songs. It was so much more focused on that.
And when did you guys know that you wanted this to be like the self-titled main record?
I think pretty early on.
Yeah.
It was just it felt really daunting to try to come up with another, another era in our minds that didn't just represent the Maine. Like we wanted it to be sort of an all-inclusive thing. Like if you're just coming to the party now, you're welcome to stay. And if you've been here for 16, 17 years, then kind of maybe a reintroduction to some people that have fallen off the wagon or have been with us for 17 years. So it was early on, and then I think that made it easier to try to hone in on the visuals and the aesthetic and really just try to create a vibe.
I was going to ask where that vibe came from on the cover, like who did the cover?
Our buddy, actually.
No. So we were like at a recording studio, and we kind of had an idea of like the disco ball being the vibe, and we had like a 5-inch little disco ball, like kind of up in the corner, and we were just talking about like what we could do for a photo shoot for it and stuff, and our manager just like pulled out his phone and like took a picture, and it was like, oh, like maybe something kind of like this, and then the game plan was to like then go do like an actual shoot and stuff,
retool it,
and then we were just like, no, that's actually
kind of what we wanted it to look like, and then
That's cool.
yeah,
it was just
cool.
kind of.
It's rarely
his managerial name
literally
is
just happened,
his managerial name is Tim, but his design work name is Chad.
Yeah.
So
Chad made the.
But then our buddy Rich Ron has always helped us out with design and
He
crushes
really
it on
helped
that
focus
end.
it in.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole I love the black and white aesthetic of all the music videos and the album release video you guys did.
Yeah,
I thought that was
thanks.
really cool. Yeah,
Thanks.
I'd love to go through the record like track by track if that's cool.
Sure,
and
sure,
ask you
yeah.
about some of the songs. So Dose number 2, I love the production to start this, almost like a By the Way Red Hot Chili Peppers like guitar intro.
All right, yeah.
I really dig that, and it's like
We've
again
been in a
such a
pepper
good
phase.
intro to the genre blending on the album.
Thank you.
We are in a bit of a Chili Peppers phase right now. Man.
Yeah.
it's weird that you said that.
It is
Yeah,
weird,
we've
but it's also
actually discussed
it was a blend between. We kept listening to what's the Korn song?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's right.
Little
it was
Korn
very
inspo.
The
Blind?
blind.
Yeah.
They
We wanted
opened
to
Woodstock
ride
with that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
wanted that
So
ride.
we wanted to steal the ride idea from that.
So that's why you can hear the ride at the
I
beginning.
love that.
Yeah, it was blind, and then it was.
But it was
Chili
tricky because
Pepper.
we were like, we can't really launch into a Korn song, so we got to
should have.
Oh,
We should've
you
gone
tried
all the
so-
way.
we tried so fucking hard to rip it.
We're like, what do we do next?
Yeah.
That's great. Was that early in the process, the intro song? Because it feels like an intro song.
It was. I think we had that
Kind
kind
of
of decided.
towards the end later.
But I think we kind
Yeah.
of knew immediately that was going to be the first track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once it was finished, I think we knew the bookends, how they were going to sit.
Yeah. And then you go into How to Exit a Room. Who is the best in the band at Irish exiting?
Oh, dude. I think it might be me.
Yeah, I think
Yeah?
you are.
I'm pretty good at just disappearing.
Yeah.
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 No, I've got to say bye to everybody.
Yeah, you do.
I call it the French dip.
French dip. I like that. I do an Irish hello where I tell people I'll be there, but I won't.
That's actually
good.
damn.
Yeah, I want to
That's
start doing that.
Nice.
like
Yeah. I
That's
like this
not
way
fun.
That's a
more.
better
Coming,
move.
dude.
Yeah.
I love the bridge on this song. It might be like my favorite moment on the album. I feel
That's
like.
awesome.
I think it's such a cool explosion of a bridge.
Thank you
awesome.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Well, the weird part of this song is that wasn't in the original demo that we had. This song like just completely changed. It was like kind of like a almost mid-tempo ballady song. It's very like acoustic driven.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't get the acoustics to sound good. So like we were spent like 10 hours just trying to get acoustics to like kind of even.
I feel like we tracked most of it acoustic.
No,
Yeah,
we did.
Kinda, like,
we
ready
did.
to go. We're like,
and then
this just
Colby
doesn't
was
sound
like,
good.
"Yo, this sounds like shit," and we're like, "Oh god!" And then so like we had dinner, and then the intro to the song, John, like Colby just happened to be recording on his phone, and he's like, "I have this idea, blah blah blah," blah. And
Yeah.
like the riff came from that, like at the end of the night, and then next day
I
we.
love that you used it as the intro too.
Yeah,
That's
but that
really
whole
cool.
that whole outro wasn't even in the original demo. We
That's
kind of like
wild.
pieced it together.
Yeah,
later,
yeah.
Did a lot of songs come together that way on this record or no?
I think when we work with Colby, it kind of happens that way. Like
Lots of
something-
revisioning.
Yeah.
Like with him, we're good at that, I feel like.
And he's really great at just kind of pulling things out of us that maybe we were blind to or didn't think we had. I mean, like they're saying, this song started as pretty much a Goo Goo Dolls song, and it's really great to see, like, and that's the cool thing about a relationship with us and him is he knows there's something more. And when we all realize that, like, yeah, you're right, then we get on the same page, and there's a lot of synergy. So
yeah, I think it's this balance of like keeping the idea at its core, what's good about it, but he's good at not like being caught in like, just because this is how you were envisioning it doesn't mean it's the best way to do it. So it's like at any point in the process, whatever's best for the song will happen. So.
It's happened a lot too.
Yeah.
And then Blame. I saw an Instagram story from you guys recently where you said this one has been the most fun to play live. And I can imagine that. It's like got that like super hectic verse and then like bounces or falls into that groove in the chorus. How did this one come together? Because this one is like maybe the biggest swing on the album, but I feel like it also is the biggest hit.
Wow.
I don't know, like, if we were all totally locked in on it until John had actually changed the verse, because the verse wasn't always like that. The whole song pretty much had a groove all the way through, like early on. And then he came back with like a revision of the demo, and it had these really fast, like crazy drums. Like,
yeah, Pat had said, like, he just kind of nonchalantly said, like, well, what if you tried something faster in the verse? And so I just doctored up. I like took the session and doctored up the drums, and then created something that when we listened back to like what I had done in Pro Tools, it was like,
it was a mess.
It was
chaotic.
But like
really, you
chaotic.
just tell that it was like exciting. I think the idea was like we knew the chorus was good, but the verse and everything just made it feel kind of boring. And we're just like, just pretend this is a different song, and then just put that chorus to it, and it ended up.
I'd say maybe
working out.
One of the most proud things on this record that I'm most proud of is the fact that I added the claps at like hour 0, and
Really?
Colby was like, I don't know, man, and I'm like, trust me, let's do it.
And then live.
Then you're like, turn them
now,
up.
now,
the way.
Yeah.
Make them loud. Yeah.
Those
Now-
claps are half the song now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal. Then you've got Leavin' 5. Real bouncy bass lick on this one. I love the bass on this whole record. How did this one come about?
Oh man,
Jared's Cabin.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a pre-pro song.
Oh, yeah?
We were kind of working all day and kind of didn't have much going, and then we were cooking dinner, and then you kind of pulled out you had like the chords, and then he ripped the bass part and was just like,
That's
we were
what
doing
I
it was on
remember.
guitar.
We laid
We were
down
playing
the
it on a
bass on
guitar.
guitar.
Yeah.
So a lot of those parts
Yeah.
are like, I've got this like transposer that'll just turn your guitar way down low, and so it sounds like a bass. So it just like, I don't really know how to play a bass, so guitar feels better to me.
well, it also gives you like a different approach at the sound
Right.
of what a bass sounds.
It sounds
like.
it sounds really weird. And I think we actually maybe left a little bit of the original.
definitely-
Yeah, I
stuff
think we
in
did.
there.
And or the Fender 6.
Yeah.
So we were just trying to, and the way it transposes, it like makes it sound really weird, and Colby like fell in love with that sound.
Yeah.
So we're like, are we gonna play guitar as bass on this whole record?
Yeah.
And then we found this in between bass and guitar is called a Fender 6, and it's like what The Cure uses a lot, and it's like that weird kind of in between. And so a lot of the bass on the whole record is that kind of guitar bass thing.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
combos
Yeah.
of that
Was
stuff.
there any
yeah.
other like inspirations on this record that you guys felt that you haven't felt before?
I mean, when working with Colby, because we've done American Candy, Lovely Lonely, Pioneer, and now this. Like American Candy and Lovely Lonely was like, we were still young in our relationship with him, and the one thing that we could all agree on was Third Eye Blind. Like, we are massive fans, and he was a massive fan. And I think after Lovely Lonely, we felt like we kind of exhausted that inspiration, especially when it came to our relationship with Colby. So this one's weird because he's in the Christian music world and is really detached from like, what we're enveloped in all the time. So it's weird because we're throwing shit out that's just like
Block
The-
party.
yeah,
Corn.
It's
Fred,
just
corn.
it's just
Corn.
going
Yeah.
like
Fred again. Let's
Fred
do
again,
it. Yeah.
yes.
But
So-
because we've done so much with him, it's like we find those commonalities.
And
but-
he's like, I don't get it, guys. And then like
Yeah.
we're like, just trust us. And then he finds that like comfort between it all.
And I think
Yes.
it speaks again to him being on board with like handcuffing ourselves to sounds.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
handcuffing ourselves to the drum sound, handcuffing ourselves to the guitar tones. And I think that's what married the whole thing together, because if you just left us in a room and we were just kind of writing from
Yeah.
inspiration, it would
Every-
just
every
be
song
like,
would be-
yeah, it
It'd
would
be a
be all
mess.
different. Yeah.
He's kind of he's like he translates stuff.
and that's
for
why you
us
get
really well.
Pioneer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love the scratchy tone on that song too. Like the solo after the bridge is like such a cool scratchy tone.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The mood I'm in, just so you know, I love the way this one explodes and then pulls back. It has such cool dynamic to it.
Thank you. Yeah, dynamic was huge on that one, and we felt like it was okay to play within that. Like normally we would be a little bit uncomfortable to leave things so, peaks and valleys, but it just felt right on this one.
That's kind of like a vibe of the record too. I feel like
Sure.
the peaks and valleys dynamics ride. It does take you on that journey the whole way.
That's awesome.
Do you guys feel like you're thinking about the vibe of the record as you're recording it, or does it come together when you have the songs that you need?
I think subconsciously you're probably thinking about it.
yeah,
I think you're always thinking like, well, once this idea is kind of 90%. All right, now how does this other idea that maybe is 40%? How can we get that to where that other one is?
we start dropping things into places in our heads. Like we put up a list of like where songs might end up, and then we kind of keep on working through that.
Yeah.
I feel like we talk about the vibe a lot before we actually begin doing it, but then once we're doing it, we don't really talk about it that much. We just work, and not like you're like in the middle of working on this song and you start like talking about how it fits with the vibe.
Right.
You're just kind of in it.
Yeah.
But because we've talked about it so much in advance, it's kind of just in the back of your mind,
Yeah.
But sometimes stuff does like kind of get outside the lines, and you kind of have to be like, wait, is this actually what we were trying to do? Kind of reel it in a little bit. But
Does it fit?
Yeah.
And then I Think About You All the Time. Sad lyrics, but super upbeat song, super fun song on the album, and very like the main song, it feels like, right?
Yeah, this one
Yeah.
started out as an acoustic demo as well. I wrote it with our buddy Andrew Goldstein, and I remember sending it to you, and we both kind of like, I think I was just getting on the plane, and it was like super bare bones, like literally just a fingerpick guitar and a vocal. And the lyric just always kind of stuck with me. I couldn't like shake that as a song title. Then I wrote the riff at home, and I just like that we were able to kind of use the same arrangement from How to Exit a Room, where you don't go to the third chorus, and it doesn't feel like we like ripped that off.
Yeah.
So it felt like a new moment, and it didn't feel like we were repeating anything.
I love the drums on this one too, like the sloshy hi-hats and stuff.
Yeah.
Really cool sound.
Thanks. Yeah. This one, I feel like definitely like set the tone for like how we wanted
The
like
sound, yeah.
the guitars to sound, how we wanted the drums to sound. It was like the first one that we kind of took from being just an idea of a song and acoustic to actually like maybe how we could actually hear like a final product, and that kind of influenced the rest of the album,
You're talking
for
about that
sure.
scratchy guitar.
Yeah, early on he had like this plug-in that he used on Pro Tools that made that fuzzy guitar, and that kind of was like, oh, that could be like the sound of the record. So we were just trying to fit that in and like find a way that isn't just a plug-in to.
And we like couldn't. We like had a hard time replicating it too. Like I think in that tune specifically, we kept.
Oh, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
some of
that.
it-
And then
demo
there's the other half of it,
guitars,
the
yeah.
tape machine.
Yeah, we used a little 4-track cassette player,
Really?
and just put everything to 10 and just it just fuzzed out like really
That's
wild.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
so that was
awesome.
kind of the fuzzy, scratchy guitar sound that you were talking about.
And then like kind of a different guitar sound on this one, Thoughts I Have While Lying in Bed, more of a spacey, vibey sound.
For
How
sure.
do you nail that production-wise?
that was hard.
We've never really. I feel like that one for us is a kind of new territory.
That one was really difficult, especially because the chords are essentially the same throughout the whole song. So, you know, when you're thinking of, like you were talking about dynamics, it's like we wanted to really make the chorus go somewhere without having to be just like downstroke the whole time.
A lot of that.
So, but we wanted to keep those off guitars, you know, and have that be like a real big feature. It was just a really difficult. I remember like laboring over that chorus.
Well, everything in that song, it's rhythmic is kind of the magic in that one. Everything hits on the 2. It's like very, for us, that's totally new. So even though it is kind of like repetitive, like rounds, I think we really relied heavily on finding a cool rhythm and like something, you know, just like vibe.
It was actually the first one we recorded, and we were trying really hard not to put too much stuff on. Like we were like before, like don't like just throw a bunch of shit on it. Like let's try to hold back. And then the first thing we did was threw a bunch of shit on it. And we're like, oh God, why doesn't this feel good? And then we were just peeling back for like days. And then you found that synth sound on this.
Well, huge kudos to our buddy Trevor from Said the Sky, because I had written a song with him, and that was kind of the foundation of, I kind of just like chopped and screwed this little bit that we had done together in Denver, and that kind of laid the foundation for the verse. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to leave it in there. And then we added all this stuff on top of it.
To like
and then
remake it.
We couldn't remake the vibe, so we took everything out and left it in there. And he was like, yeah, use it. It's awesome. So
usually it's your first iteration that's going to end up being the best part.
Yeah, go with your gut.
So many times.
Funny how? Goodfellas fans? Was that a Goodfellas reference at all when you wrote it?
Wow, no.
But when you guys put out the track list initially, that's what I thought it was.
That's actually fucking me up.
Yeah.
No, but
Oops.
now.
Yeah.
Fun fact for you guys: did you know Ed Sheeran owns the painting from Goodfellas?
No.
Really?
Yeah, we found that out this year. He also owns Wilson from Castaway.
What?
He's apparently a huge movie prop guy.
Whoa.
No, Wilson?
Whoa.
That's a flex.
Is it real blood?
Flex, dude.
I don't know. I hope not.
Tom's real blood, dude.
But this one starts with the lyric, at 17, I couldn't dream of something like this. What were your dreams at 17? Couple years before the Maine starts, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I have no clue.
I mean, for a bunch of us, it was
wanting to do
this.
this. Yeah.
I don't think for John he
Hadn't maybe crossed your mind yet.
No.
gotten there yet. Yeah.
No, I think I was like, I'm going to be a baseball player. Actually, no, I knew I wasn't going to be a baseball player. I think maybe just existential crisis.
How many beers you could drink in one night?
Yeah.
In college.
Yeah. How many sparks,
Sparks.
drinks can I have? I don't know. That's a good question. I think towards the end of high school, for me personally, it was definitely, I was reeling because, you know, you have all your friends that they know what they're doing, and I didn't really have a path. So that first, you know, going into college for me was, I think I'm going to be in business, whatever that means.
Yeah, I did
and
that.
then, fortunately, we got kicking after that. So I don't know. Yeah, dreams of beer and
Fun dreams.
yeah.
And as far as this song goes, it's like a very nostalgic song in general. Did you feel like you wanted kind of a heartfelt song like this on the album?
So this one had a couple different iterations. This one, I wrote it thinking I was writing it for somebody else, and I had in my head I thought it was going to be a female vocalist on it. And I was just going to be like, hey, does anybody want to sing this? You can have it.
And then we wouldn't let it go. Yeah. We were like, you sound so good. We love this chorus.
But then I couldn't just come to terms with it. You know, it was just something that I was like, nah, it's not for me.
It was tricky because it was a piano like ballad demo. It would sound like an Adele song. So it's like, but he's like actually on the original demo, like singing like full out, which isn't how we normally do stuff. So like,
put out
I think
all the demos from this album. They all sound interesting.
Yeah.
They're a little different.
But I think hearing it in the right light was kind of hard at first, especially for probably John.
Yeah, stubbornly, I like tried to make faster versions of it and tried to like come at it from a different angle. But then once I started getting on board with everybody else. I was like, I wanted to focus on writing a song about my daughter and kind of the changes that my life has taken, and I'm really, really proud of the way it turned out. I think this might be my favorite song on the album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about you guys? You guys have a favorite song in the album?
Mine's coming up.
Okay, we'll get to it.
I might have
Maybe
to go,
Blame, which is
yeah.
kind of like the obvious one, but like the other night we were playing it and I was like, this is cool. Like,
Yeah.
this is
It's so
like,
fun
this,
to play
this is-
live.
this is like, and
just-
I was like, oh, I'm like pumped that now we just have this forever. Like
Yeah.
this is like this is our song. We can always play this whenever we want.
Yeah, I think
So-
Blame, because it's kind of scary. Like,
Yeah.
especially before it came out, it's like, this is,
Yeah.
like you said, it's like, this is either like a home run or like nothing.
Yeah.
And I think having that fear and then it working was like really rewarding, I guess. So, yeah.
I think Thoughts is probably my favorite. Just, I remember we had it like mostly written and we had it kind of looping. We were just kind of listening to it back. We were at the cabin and we were like, everybody was vibing. And it's like, you just kind of have this loop and you just keep it going. And it probably went for like an hour and we're just like trying to add to it. And I love how it turned out. I feel like it's exactly how I pictured it. So that's mine.
Then we've got Cars and Caution Signs, the longest song in the album. I like that. I like a longer song. I like how this one kind of
Yeah.
just jams for a while. I think it's like 40 seconds before lyrics come in.
Yeah, this one's the most self-serving.
Yeah,
on the
Yeah.
record.
yeah.
But
we
like,
wanted
This was,
I like that though. I'm an Oasis fan. So
We told Colby, we're like, just let the boys have one, is what we
Yeah.
kept saying. Because we didn't even have, it was just a loop for like, until we actually went to record. It was just in just that
we were
like,
just like, trust us.
yeah, we're like, let us steal Wilco.
Yeah. And that's kind of the same way as like we were just kind of living in that loop for like, I remember in the studio, just I came in early and then had the round on the bass, and it was just like you could kind of
And then it went all
just
day.
live in that for a
Yeah.
long time.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Total
Yeah,
vibe. And then the final song in the album, Spiraling.
This one's my favorite.
Is it? It sounds like you're about to end the record on a mellower song, and then it blows up, and it's like a huge dance vibe.
Yeah.
It's a really tough thing at this point because Another Night on Mars just seems to be like one that we can't beat to finish a record. And you always want to try to outdo yourself, but you never want to deliver the same energy. And this one, I think it was probably our attempt at just like flipping the notion of what a last song is to us on its head. So yeah, it's like the pump fake. It like feels like it's gonna be slow, and
You always described it as like the after party thing, right? Like the after the lights are on, everybody's still dancing and going, and like
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it was I think we had it. You had it like, again, it's like someone else's song kind of idea, and then these guys, Jared and Ken, like loved it, and we're like, oh, we can get on board, and we're like, what if it's the last song, and we can just like let go of like having to make it
the
feel like a
idea that the
single
album
or
is
something,
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
supposed to be or something.
yeah, it's like let it be what it is, and don't like.
So we ended up getting 2 for the boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Two for the boys.
Yeah.
Couple for you
No, but
guys,
Colby
some for the
loves
boys.
it.
yeah,
he wanted
Colby
it-
likes this one too.
Colby wanted it to be the first song.
he said this is
Yeah.
his
Really?
naughty
Yeah.
song.
This is
Yeah,
naughty
he
song?
said naughty song.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got
there's just
that pop
something about-
element to
It's
it.
so funny because I recorded most of the vocals in Franklin with Colby, and his studio's upstairs, and he's got a couple kids, and he's like, all right, we're gonna have to record this, like, because I say fuck like, I don't know, 70 times in the song. He's like, we're gonna have to record this like discreetly, and then like, but I really want to listen to it out loud. And he's like, we gotta do it when they're asleep. So yeah.
Did you actually wait till the kids were asleep to record it?
I think we did, yeah.
That's great. Now you guys are on the Sweet 16 tour right now, going through all the eras of the Maine. How do you hope people remember this era?
Honestly, I just hope it's just it becomes part of the experience, part of the last 17 years. I think you don't really get to decide like how people react to your music or who comes to your shows, and we're just like annihilated by the idea that like this many people are coming to this tour, and it means a lot. It means like, being in a band is a difficult thing. Being away from your family is a tough thing, especially now at this point. And it's it's been the most rewarding tour I think we've ever had. It's Stairway.
Stairway.
Yeah.
Stairway.
Listen,
At
At least get to the solo.
Oh, is it really? Oh, that's tough. Yeah.
Amazing. That's rad.
That's actually a perfect send-off.
That is perfect. Stairway to heaven.
Stairway to heaven.
That was my last question for you guys. So
That's
perfect
amazing.
timing.
Well,
thank you
thank
guys
you.
for coming
Yeah,
in.
thank you.
Obviously,
Thank you.
go see the Maine on the Sweet 16 tour now.
Thanks for all the love.
Thank you.
Thank you.